Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Crystal Francis. Today, I thought we would go over some underrated underdogs of the drugstore. I got the idea from EmilyNoel 83. I will, if I can, I will link her video in the description box below so that you guys can go check out her and her channel, and she's amazing. I've been watching her for a really long time, and I just thought that it was really great that she even had this idea that there were things in the drugstore that people are not talking about that are amazing, and she's right. There's quite a bit of things in the drugstore that people are not talking about that are amazing. So let's get right into the video. Okay, let me see here. I feel like before I start, I've got quite a bit of CoverGirl here. Quite a bit. I've got a little bit of CoverGirl here because I think that CoverGirl is highly underrated at the drugstore. I think like in the 80s, like it was like the company for makeup. Women in the 80s needed brushes and things in their compacts, in their things, so that they could get ready on their way to work. They were working moms and, you know, doing it all and trying to have it all and trying to be beautiful while they were having it all. And now we've gotten into where we have we've all got brushes and, you know, to do every little teeny little thing, and we snub our noses at sponges and triangular sponges, I mean, that were used for putting foundation on, and we frown our noses at using our fingers, and sponge tip applicators and the little blush brushes that come in blush compacts. But those 80s women had to have those things because they didn't have time to stay at home and spend 30 minutes to an hour to put on their makeup. So they literally had to do it in the car on the way. And so anyway, I kind of feel like CoverGirl is the unsung hero of drugstore makeup brands. They have always had so many great products, and nobody talks about them. You know, Elf and Wet n Wild, they're cool because they're cheap. And then you have Milani and Flower Beauty, and they're cool because they're a little extra and a little more luxurious, and of course new. And then you have L'Oreal, that's kind of a little more luxurious. Maybelline also. And I think that because CoverGirl tries to be a little more on the inexpensive side, we tend to not give them as much credit because of packaging. And I really think that we miss a lot. So I'm going to start with CoverGirl. This is a new find for me. CoverGirl Clean Fresh Skincare Priming Glow Mist, 8-hour hydration, true clean cactus water for all skin types. This is a primer. You spray it on, and it's cactus water. Your makeup really sticks to this. And I don't hear anybody talking about it. And a lot of companies in the drugstore, a lot of the makeup color product brands, excuse me, are coming out with skincare. This is some skincare, part of CoverGirl skincare line. Nobody's talking about CoverGirl skincare. I don't know how they are at skincare, but that Prime and Glow Mist that's nice. And if you would like to see the face that I've got on today, how I got this look, this is full face with CoverGirl, and I will put the link in the description box below, and you can see how I got this look. And I started off with that primer. Let's see. This is another newbie to me. CoverGirl Lid Lockup Eyeshadow Primer. And it comes with a doe foot applicator. And it's very nude. It's not white. And you just need a little bit. And, you know, my favorite eyeshadow primer has been Milani. This one. But I think I've got a new eyeshadow primer favorite, because this one is so sticky. I would nearly bet money that you wouldn't even need glitter glue if you use this primer. It is so sticky. When you use it, you're going to need to put down a little base. I like to put down I like to put down a powder. This is what I used in the full face of CoverGirl in 100 translucent. You just put a little bit down before you start adding your color, and then you have a perfect base to start your stuff on, to start adding color. Let's see. CoverGirl. Okay. Let's talk about mascaras. CoverGirl has had Clump Crusher by Lash Blast out for a long time. And I think a lot of people are talking about it. But there's this new brush with their Clump Crusher, and I like it that they do these new brushes and add different things. But the reason I'm bringing up mascara is I think that Maybelline kind of, you know, everybody acts like Maybelline has, like, nearly everything Maybelline comes out with is amazing as far as mascaras go. And they do put out a lot of good mascaras. They really do. But so do CoverGirl. But I will say this. When I was 14 and I started my makeup journey, I've told the CoverGirl story before. If you want to hear the CoverGirl story, you can, when you watch the full face of CoverGirl, you'll see it. You'll hear it. But when I started looking for individual pieces that were going to be in my makeup case, the number one thing for me was I wanted a really great mascara. And so my mother had always used Maybelline Great Lash. And so I went right there. Let's try that. I hated it. I hated the brush. I hated everything about it. I hated the way it applied. It was far too dry. But also, more importantly than anything else, I found out my eyes are very sensitive. And Great Lash burns my eyes bad. They turn red. I cry, and it's a whole thing. And, you know, tears, and it's a whole thing. But I have always been able to use CoverGirl mascaras. And I've learned through the years that some mascaras I just can't use because my eyes are very sensitive. But I can always count on CoverGirl to make sure that I can use their mascaras. This, though, is the one I'd like to talk about that I don't think anybody's talking about, and it's a really good one. Lash Plumping Mascara. And this sits in black. And here's the brush. And I love it when they're curved because that helps with curl and definition and all of those things. But you see the purple packaging. CoverGirl has come out with these purple packaging where, the purple packaging is all about being simply ageless and you know, wrinkle blurring and, you know, hyaluronic acid and all these kinds of things. This is got to be part of that line because of the plumping business. It does plump. It's amazing. I don't know why people are not talking about that. And another thing from CoverGirl that people are not talking about is this. And I didn't get this from EmilyNoel. I've always thought this, but I thought it was so great that she included this because I've always felt the same way. CoverGirl Instant Cheekbones. Instant Cheekbones. This one is, I think it's purely Plum. And this one is Peach Perfection. Now, we'll just, excuse me, I had an itch. Now, of course, they always put in these blush brushes. If you don't want to use them, don't use it, throw it away. No, nobody cares. Okay? But you had to have these like in the 80s. Because those women were, like I say, you know, putting their makeup on in the car on the way to work. Uh-oh. Stop trying to gouge out the colors. Okay. You have your main color here. Your main blush color. Isn't that nice? And then this is sort of a contouring color. And you would put your main color here where you put your blush, and then your contour color, you put it here where you put contour. And then highlight. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I have really dug in there. I'm nearly hitting pan. And I don't know if you can tell, but see that? That nice. CoverGirl, EmilyNoel said this, and it's so true. CoverGirl has been doing highlighter since before highlighter was popular, and they've been doing it luxuriously with excellence. And they have had, these things have been out since I was in high school. I was using these in high school. I'm 45. That's how amazing they are. They've been out that long and nobody talks about them. It's one of my favorite things. And the next thing is, nobody talks about CoverGirl eyeshadows enough, I don't think. I think that they have the best eyeshadows in the drugstore. Personal opinion. So let's move on away from CoverGirl just a little bit. Flower Beauty has these Miracle Matte lipsticks. Why? It's not, there it is. Miracle Matte lipstick. There it is. And this is in the shade Melon Pop. Go. It smells very vanilla cupcakey. See there? There's a little swatcheroo right here. Nice. That's nice. These feel like, that word miracle for these is perfect. They're a matte liquid lipstick, but they are really comfortable. They're really velvety and they're really good. And I really like them. And then the next thing that I want to talk about that I think is underrated at the drugstore is Revlon Matte Balm. Now they have these Balm crayons. Let me show you. Okay. That look like this. And they just glide on really well. And they have a little bit of some sort of a minty something or another in there. And they really like stain the lips well, and they don't come off, but they feel like a balm, where it's not like a liquid lipstick, it's like a balm, where you really feel like you're nourishing your lips when you have that on. Nobody's talking about it. It's great. It's great. One last thing that I wanted to talk about. What was it? Oh, right here in front of me. You know, Wet n Wild. Everybody talks about Wet n Wild for all the things, except their brushes. And Wet n Wild, if you don't know, has really good brushes. I had to, when I moved, I had to throw away all my brushes. Just get a few here. This is just a few. I have many. But they're really soft and luxurious feeling. I need to clean mine because, you know, I just got through doing this really smoky. But they're really fluffy and they're nice looking. They're not pokey. And they get the job done. And they're really inexpensive. Really inexpensive. Like, these eyeshadow brushes run like $1.67 or something each. And so I'm talking about their essential brush line. And once in a while, they come out with fun things. Here's a holographic star glitter highlighter. But they're always really soft bristles, and they're synthetic, and they have flat or slightly pointy bottoms, so you can stand them up so they stand up well. And nobody talks about them. Everybody's talking about e.l.f. brushes, and e.l.f. brushes are pokey. They poke you and they scratch. I tried several e.l.f. brushes. They're pokey and they scratched my eyes. Sorry, e.l.f. But the Wet n Wild brushes, they don't. They are really soft, inexpensive, and they get the job done. And that's highly important when you have to replace an entire set and you can't afford to buy luxury. So and even without luxury, they do the job. They get it done, and they do it well. I did this with Wet n Wild today. Anyway, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video of Underdogs, underrated products at the drugstore, and I would really appreciate it if you leave a comment in the comment section below, and let's have a conversation. Let's talk about what you think are underrated products at the drugstore, and let's keep this conversation going. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.